Hey, what's up, guys? It is MetaGamesGX here, and we have our first place undefeated deck profile from week 21 of Genesis locals. So I went 4-0 with Brand Despia. This is basically an updated version to my regional list that I recently top 8'd. This is without expulsion, obviously, and for the upcoming meta, I think actually Brandon is in a way better position than it was last time. I think it's much stronger in the context of the other decks now that Cashier is a lot more hit. I also don't think expulsion was really the hit that needed to happen. The deck in my deck is a Gimmick Puppet deck. I'm running some really spicy stuff with the Nadir Servant, which hasn't been fully shown off, so I will be showing off that combo at least at the end of the video. So if you're a Branded Despia player, you're really going to want to watch this because I think this is the best build for doing the Gimmick Puppet lock out there and will probably be the best build. So feel free to crib off of this, and let's get into deck profile. It's 40 card main deck, and yeah, so I will go over matchups maybe later. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. So we are playing Brand Despia. So guess what we are playing? We are playing 3 Fallen of Albaz plus 3 Aluber. These guys are great. We love them. You have to run 3 Albaz because you go through them now with Quem very easily. Then 1 Quem, 3 Cartesia, or 2 Cartesia, 1 Quem. I'm not on the 60 card build yet. I might want to try that out, but I think this is a nice 40 card build that's very consistent, and you get to play through Ash most hands and, you know, even like other things. So this is no cross out build, obviously, and no call out or called by. I think those cards are bricks. So unless you're lucky, basically. So 2 card, you need it. Very much discard fodder. Like, I can send the 1 off of Quim and then even fusion deployment out for this. Like, maybe that's not the correct play, but like, it's nice because it gives you recurability for Brandon and Red and your other discard effects. I'm going over those quick because you really don't need an explanation on those cards' ratios. I'm gonna explain the stuff I'm missing, such as Lubellion maybe, and also the Fright Fur package. I don't like the Fright Fur package. I think they're bricks, and I think Lubellion is a brick, so that's why we are not running Lubellion. Guess we will get rid of the get the 1-ofs out of the way then. These are the branded engine plus Despia. You run 1 Tragedy, 1 Mercurier. I actually really want to run 2, but it's such a brick, so I'm not. But this card's insane. You want to be able to search this so you can have an out for the DD Crow, but some hands you actually can't, so that's kind of what's unfortunate about this build. I think if anything I would maybe want to up this to 2, but I don't know if that's the correct play. Kit's for the, it's just a great extender, and also it's for the Nadir Servant play because this is a Nadir build. Gimmick Puppet because this is the best going first card in the whole meta. I don't care what anyone says. It's so good. You stop your opponent from doing anything. No one's I mean, you're going to be running into main deck Bestials. That's fine. And even if you get Bestial, this deck is strong enough to play through that most of the time. So, and plus on top of that, that's why you search the Mercurier, and that's why you run Lost. Like, if you know what you're going against, all you really need are those, and then you have side deck to deal with the rest of them. Maximus, because this is the thing you search off of Nadir. Maximus is, it's funny in the mirror match, but it's basically great in every other matchup. And it's even in the mirror match, it's pretty good. It just it does the Nadir combo that I'm going to show you guys. And 1 Sarnier because you kind of need it. I run the Retribution, so you know you can just send this off Cartesia if you have Albion and get free Brand Infusion. So it's a pretty good card, and also it gets Ret in the graveyard. It's also just a Bestial, so I felt like I would miss it more. Like, it is certainly a cuttable card in this build, I will say. So we are gonna do this first. We're gonna show off the Spice Triple Tactics Thrust plus 1 Talents. This is basically just to get the duplication, so we'll just include that. I'm still on duplication. I think it's good. Sometimes it does feel win more, but there's some hands where I cannot win unless I have duplication through an Ash. So since I'm not playing the called by, I think this is very much the play. Even if there's no Ash, like, it's good because, like, if you hard draw this plus a fusion, you get a fusion on your opponent's turn and get your gimmick lock that way. So it's a very good card, and then Talents is just obviously good. I think this ratio works. The only thing is I don't see this ratio enough, but it's probably not a bad thing because then you won't break on them. Because sometimes these can be bricks, and like you'll want to draw multiples. So I think this is a fine ratio. Maybe I would run a 5th Called by the Grave, but I don't want to do that. I think Called by is pretty bricky, like, even in this build. Like, yeah, I know it helps get around Ash, but, like, I want to play cards that, like, I don't care if I get Ashed, essentially, with Branded. Because I think that's the best way to play it. 3 Branded Fusion. Yeah. I can't wait for the ulti. That's the only thing I have to say. 3 Branded Opening. Yeah. Gets you out Queb. And Aluber, the one of's Lost and Red. Some people are on Lost anymore. I think Lost is very much correct. It baits out a lot. It puts a lot of pressure on things. A lot of people, like, don't correctly know that it's... I mean, against most matchups, it really doesn't... The negate doesn't come up. It's just the search. And also, going first, it's nice because you can set a lot of interruptions with Lost, and then Red is just incredible. It's such a good card. Like, this is how you can play through the Bestials. You get a Red setup plus a Mirror Jade anyways, and you can usually still just do stuff. And plus, Nadir Servant allows you to do that. So any hand you're opening Nadir Servant with this deck, you are basically winning. Speak of the devil, Nadir Servant. This card is freaking insane. You send Bucephalus, who I'm going to be the Tri-Brigade, and you send Brigand, and then you just search the Dogmatica, and you basically go off from there. It's a 1-card Mirror Jade, it's a Mirror Jade Loop, it's a 1-card, I mean, if I'm running Brandon High Spirits, which I'm not, still a very good card, and very good card to set up, and it just gives you the 1-card Gimmick Puppet, so I'll show that off at the end. 3 Fusion Deployment, very good card. I think that I would never run any less than 2. That's all I have to say about that. It's your way to break apart boards. Also, this is my other goo, I forgot. 3 Super Poly. So we love Super Poly. I think Super Poly is one of the best cards actually right now. In terms of like a branded board breaker, because this build is not running hand traps, as you can see. I felt like hand traps were kind of way too low of impact, like in a branded deck, at least right now, without Gamma, because Gamma kind of did a lot for you because it got rid of the Ashy. There's no equivalent for that right now. So I think Super Poly really just gets you there. I'm not running Garura or Mudragon, but like, to be honest, it hasn't come up. Like, you want to use Super Poly to make your branded monsters, like your Albaz fusions and stuff like that. So these can come out, and again, I might run something else because I'm not running Garura and Mudragon. But to be honest, I don't want to make Garura Mudragon off of Super Poly. Like, that's -2 to make 2 cards that don't do much in branded. So really, if you're resolving a Super Poly, you want it to be as an interruption on your opponent's turn, or just going second against the decks that you can play into your branded fusion. So obviously this can be a dead card, but it was this or Dark Rulers, and I felt like Dark Ruler was a way more dead card because it did nothing going first. And Super Poly does a lot going first, actually. Also helps you get around Imperm and stuff like that, but you can already do that with Cartesia. So that's why I run that. It's pretty good. It's always been high value. I don't think I'm going to cut it right now. At least, I mean, maybe I won't be running at Nats, but I think I will. 1 Retribution, 1 Foolish, 1 Gold Sark. Consistency and Retribution just is the grind game, and it's a very good card to set off of Albion, especially if you get fucked up on your Gimmick Puppet play. It's just super strong negation that goes into a card that gets you back a card for your next turn to crack pack. This build's extremely grind gamey if it wants. You can play it can go toe for toe with any grind game that wants to. Obviously, you're trying to kill your opponent in 1 turn by resolving Gimmick Puppet. But even when that doesn't happen, you can just loop Mirror Jade 3 times and get to OTK. So this build does a lot. I want Brandon High Spirits in here, so I might take that out for a Sarnier, honestly. Because it may be even an ad-lib, but I can't see myself putting back Lubellion. Lubellion's a brick in this build. You never do the line through Lubellion, and it really never matters for the loss. I mean, sometimes it would, but since you can't search Expulsion anymore, the Albion line doesn't, or the Lubellion line does not matter as much in the Gimmick Puppet build. So I think Lubellion, run as many as you want if you're doing the combo build without Gimmick Puppet. Side deck. Or no, extra deck. Really standard. 2 Mirror Jade. I want to cut to 1, but you need it for the grind game, so 2 Albion and 1 Lubellion. You don't need 2 Lubellion anymore. It only ever comes up once. I Sometimes I want 3 of these guys, but I can't because of extra deck space. And then 1 Albion, 1 Rindrum, 1 Brigand, and 1 Sprine for the rest of the Albaz Phasian names. Sprine is amazing. I go into get this like almost every game. This is a super poly target, by the way. You know, it's basically any of these guys are really. And Albion does your Gimmick Puppet play, so you're usually going into Albion off your Branded Fusion. Rindrum is really good to send off of things to revive your Albaz on your opponent's turn. Also sometimes comes up just when you're going against a straight up link deck that can't do much against it, puts a lot of pressure. Brigand's really good against Kashira. It's really good against Pearly. It's really good against Pearly, honestly. And that's the reason I wish I was running Titaniclad, but that's the only thing I'm missing in here. I don't have the room, however. Pearly's not strong enough, I think, where you need the Titaniclad anymore, so I think it's fine. I'm not running it, and these guys do enough. You can really just, like, outgrind game Pearly, like, because once they get rid of the one Noir, you go into the Brigand, make it so that they have to get rid of materials. That's how you do your Pearly matchup now. 2 Guignol's, super fucking good card. I run 2 because 2 comes up, you make 1 on your first turn, and make the second on your opponent's turn when you revive the Cartesia. And I mean, it's kind of win more, but like you want the second one for certain instances. Also floats, it's super good. You can send it off just to float to Lulu Walulith and Quem. Speaking of this, these are my Nadir servant targets. Bucephalus and Lulu Walulith. Bucephalus you never go into, you just send this off in Nadir servant Servant's Brigand. And it's a card that you can banish for Dogmatica. That's really why, because you want to be banishing your other cards. Lulu Walulith is amazing. You usually flow this out into this through Guignol. And its effect is really good, actually. It comes up a lot where it negates an effect. So, and then Querdus, Chimera, I think, yeah, so these were kind of, Querdus was a hard decision because I wanted to cut this because I'm running the Lulu Walulith, but I'm running Super Poly, so this is my other Super Poly slot. This allows me to get over, when someone like imperms in a Luber only on field, I can just Super Poly with hopefully the thing with Querdus and then skip the, and then miss, or get the search off of the Luber. It's also really good to kind of just like sit behind. Some decks can't do a lot with it. This is very much cuttable though. So if you want room for this build, you can find that. The Chimera is amazing. You go into every game with Brandon Red, so that goes beyond the Gimmick Puppet lock. So that was the extra deck, and wow, this is going quick, guys. Here is the side deck. 3 Bell. This is your going first card. You side in every game going first over the Super Polys because you already know that people are going to have Called By, Bastille, you know, stuff like that, and also it's just really good in the meta right now, so it's a pretty good go singing card against certain decks, like Branded. So this card just does a lot. I wish I could run 6 of these, frankly. It was this or the Crossout package, and I felt like Crossout package is like way too thick in my extra deck, so I cut the Crossout package. 3 Nib. This could be Drawl. I'm thinking about putting Drawl in over this because this is either the most alive card or the most dead card ever. It's also light though, so it can be nice for Albion and grind games. I could see myself cutting it for Drawls. I think Drawl does a lot for the Rika matchup. I know that isn't the most popular deck, but it's still a very good deck. Does a lot in Europe, so I think I'll have Drawls in for Nats because I don't want to lose to Rika in this matchup. It's a pretty bad matchup against Rika. 3 Dark Ruler. This card just wins you every matchup going second. I mean, like I said, I would run this over Super Poly if I can guarantee myself always going second, which I would never want to go playing this deck. But it's very good against Sprite, very good against Dinos, very good against just like even Kashira sometimes, like just the decks that set up boards you don't want to deal with. So very good card, and the life point thing does not matter. You can just out their board and then re-gimmick lock them. Like some people say out gimmick going second, and if you think, it really depends. Usually I do, but like there's certain games where I'm like I wish I didn't cut the Gimmick Puppet because I want to relock them, but even then it usually doesn't matter. 3 Evenly. Insane card. You run this, it's probably the best card in my extra deck, honestly. Like in terms of like value, it just straight pulls off. It always like you know, equalizes the field. Well, equalizes, destroys my opponent's field. Very good card. Knee against Runic, knee against certain matchups. I feel like Runic Life Twin Spray is a little bit of a harder matchup, so that's why you have these cards. These are your Compensating Cyclone you need because people run Anti-Spell, people run Grave. Yeah, I don't have a dimensional prison or barrier out through cross out. However, I think that's a brick because you're gonna have to blind into it, and sometimes they don't have it. So I think that's pretty bad in general. And then even if it does come up, like it's like one card down, so it's like you probably aren't full combo anyway. So I like playing the stack with Nadir Servant so you can still play through the dimensional barrier. You're very much able to. In Cosmic Cyclone, this is the only option. It's either this or MST, and Cyclone you want for the floating, I guess. Maybe I could go with the MST for not the 1,000 for time. But I don't know. Because there's not much in the meta that floats in terms of spells and traps, like Eldritch, but like I'll lose to the random Eldritch player. So we're gonna do a quick combo for the Nadir Servant play super quickly. And then we will basically go from there. So this is a 1-card Gimmick Puppet with Nadir Servant. Probably do this as a YouTube short anyway too, but this will be for the people who are watching my video, so thank you very much for making it this far. Alright, Nadir Servant. You send a Bucephalus to the graveyard from your extra deck. Then you search Dogmatica Maximus to your hand, as long as you didn't get ashed. And then Tri-Brigade's effect in the graveyard activates. You send the Bergrand Glory Dragon to the graveyard. So then the end phase, Albaz comes out. Then you are going to special summon Maximus by banishing Bucephalus. Maximus has an activatable effect that allows both players to send 2 cards to the graveyard. That forces both players to send 2 cards to the graveyard from their extra deck. So, depending on your hand, obviously, you can modulate what you do here, but this is the 1-card combo version that shows that you can do it in 1 card. You send the Albion, and then you send the Lulu Wall Lilith. And then you will go end phase, just based on the 1 card. You'll activate Bergrand's effect, special summon Albaz from the deck. Lulu Wall Lilith's effect to special summon Cartesia from the deck. Then you will use Albion's effect to search the Branded in Red. And then you set Branded in Red, you pass turn. Then you basically go into main phase, and then maybe a little bit better version of doing this, but you go into main phase, and then you wait for your opponent to activate 1 effect. Then you use Blazing Cartesia effect to fusion summon. You just hope your opponent isn't playing Pearly and just doesn't do everything in turn 1, I guess. And then you go into Gwignall. And then you use Gwignall's effect to send Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. And then you will use Branded in Red on the open chain to target Albaz in graveyard to add it to hand, and then fuse with the Dogmatica Maximus, because it is a light spellcaster, for everyone's favorite Albion. And then you will use Albion's effect to target Gimmick Puppet, plus you can use, actually it's really only Cartesia here, so yeah, and then you give your opponent a Gimmick Puppet, and that is a 1-card Gimmick Puppet, y'all. So, hope you all enjoyed. Sorry to the Yu-Gi-Oh community for exposing this combo a little bit sooner than I feel like I would have liked to. It's already out there, to be fair, so that's why I'm doing it. It's a good combo. It's probably gonna get Gimmick Puppet banned. It depends really, because like it's a hand trap meta. That's the thing. Like, if you think you're just gonna get hand trapped out of existence, like you probably shouldn't play this build. But I don't think that's how it's gonna be. I also think you can build this deck is very much you can play around hand traps. I was thinking about maybe running like a light hex sealed for Dragoon. I know Duality is coming out. You can go from Gwignall into Dragoon, so I might want to do that for Omni Negates. That's very much a thing that you could like side into for Nats, I'm thinking. Because the only thing this thing loses to is hand traps. If you don't get hand trap, it's the quickest wins ever, this deck. And like I said, you search that Mercurial, you're just fine. As long as they don't have called by. If they have the one of called by, you know, it is what it is. But that's why you try to set up your boards to have a red set plus a Mirror Jade into another Mirror Jade. That's why you have Cartesia too. That's also maybe why I was thinking about running Stapelia. But Stapelia could go over Aquarius very much. And it might, because it helps you play through certain boards. So, alright, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Please leave a like and comment what y'all think. Where y'all running this format? What do you think of Branded? Thanks for all the support we've been getting. We're almost at 700 subscribers, which is insane. Really great growth lately. All my videos are getting over 100 views, which is really nice. And like that deck profile Vanadium has like almost 8,000 views. Steve's Pendulum video almost has 10K. Like, you guys are insane. You know, I just want to see much more growth this year. I'm gonna hit that 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna get YouTube monetized, and we're gonna start doing really great stuff. So look forward to it. Very much. Thank you all for the help. Thank you all for the support. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's been MetaGamesGX signing out.